force. It connects with his head with the power of 12 large hadron colliders. Santa is out cold. The seasoned Tard Wrangler sees this and immediately jumps into action. He runs directly at Neil and lunges for him, too slow for the lightning wrapped Tard. Neil avoids it and runs for the door. Wrangler saw this coming and locked the door after he came in. Neil begins to panic. He has never faced a Wrangler this good. Wrangler begins to corner Neil. Neil senses that his defeat is imminent. He silences his rat-tard roar as the Wrangler closes in. He shouts at the Wrangler, "Acumen!" referring to acumen, what he thought was a word equivalent to fuck due to a previous encounter. The Wrangler picks up Neil and prepares to bring him to Tard HQ. Neil has stopped his resistance entirely. For once, someone has bested Neil. What is happening? .jpg. Neil just waves to me and utters that familiar slur of words. Thank you. Neil versus Tard Wrangler, Part 3, Neil's Revenge. Be in 8th grade still. Be about a week after the previous incident. Surprisingly, the school has kept the whole Tard integration thing going. Neil has had it up to his head, only 5 feet, with his new Tard Wrangler shit. He refuses to give him even an inch of space, not even during lunch when Neil chills with me and my friends. Neil has been planning this. He had to have. Something so elaborate could not have simply come out of thin air, even for Neil. Neil waits until lunch to unleash his wrath. Remember, all of the Tards eat lunch at the same time with all of the regular kids. The eating lunch happens to be Taco Day. Neil, out of the blue, unleashes the most violent of his rat-tard screeches I have ever heard. Da fuck.jpg. Neil was unprovoked, and I was very confused as he did not let me in on his plan. Tards start to go batshit crazy. Meat, rice, and cheese is soaring over our heads. I duck down as to avoid the carnage, but continue to watch Neil. The seasoned Tard Wrangler starts his approach to apprehend Neil. Not happening, bro. Neil fucking books it using his lightning rat-tard speed. All the way to the other side of the cafeteria in milliseconds. Tard Wrangler picks up speed in order to keep pace with Neil. He stops paying attention to the ground. Neil has started to remove his clothes by now. Tard Wrangler's foot hits a pile of taco meat that has been thrown by the raging Tards and does a cartoon-style slip right onto his back, now covered in taco ingredients. Neil has completed the process of undressing. He's letting his uncircumcised penis hang for everyone to see. Neil begins to charge the Tard Wrangler. The students look on in horror to the events unfolding before their very eyes, but they could not fathom what was going to happen. Continuing his mighty rat-tard screech, Neil dives on top of the Wrangler, engaged Tard strength. Even a full-grown Wrangler is not able to fight off Neil's immense Tard strength. Neil silences his rat-tard screech and scoops up the stray taco meat ingredients, shoving them directly into his mouth. He chews it all into a half-digested puree. He's gonna do it, .jpg. He positions his head directly above the Wranglers, just as he had to Tard the bitch earlier that year, and regurgitates this taco spit puree onto the face of the Wrangler. Neil has had his revenge and sees no reason to continue the onslaught. He gets off of the disoriented taco-covered Wrangler and gets dressed once again. The raging mob of Tards have almost all been subdued by the other Tard Wranglers. Neil is picked up by one Wrangler and dragged towards the cafeteria exit, as another tends to the seasoned Tard Wrangler's wounds. Neil is in complete harmony. He simply waves goodbye to me and shouts in my direction, "Thank you," all the while holding a very toothy grin because he knows he has broken the Super Wrangler. Nobody is free from the wrath of Neil. This is the last story. Neil, story of the Tard Ball game. Be in 8th grade, be in the last 2 weeks finally. Miss Springer has organized a baseball game for parents and all the kids who can't play for that one period a day. 4 choices now. 3-day event. Walk up to Neil who's sitting on one plate. You ready for the game, bud? Hey, you. Turns out Neil doesn't like baseball very much. James walks up to Neil and I before the game commences. I'm gonna kick your butt, Debo. Neil doesn't give a fuck as usual, and I simply disregard the Tard. All he wants to do is sit there in the outfield until this shit is over, but he has taken a liking to the wild card. Be be Neil's turn to bat. Miss Springer is pitching underhand all the tards. She has obviously underestimated Neil's power despite her previous encounters. Miss Springer throws the ball. Neil misses his first swing. I hear James from over on second base. Gable, you're bad. She tosses the ball a second time, and Neil misses yet again. James feels it necessary to continue taunting Neil. Told you he's bad, you Gable. Neil has had enough of this shit. Serious face, JP. Miss Springer tosses the ball to Neil a third and final time. Neil hits the fucker with all of his strength. It was as if the spirit of Babe Ruth had been reincarnated into a tard. The ball blazed straight towards James with the speed of 1,000 blazing niggers. Oh shit, JPEG. Boom, the ball cracks against his skull. Sweet dreams, James. He's out fucking cold. Miss Springer is now having a fucking breakdown. I personally think she should be praising God that the speeding object did not hit her for once. She begins to shout at Neil. Why do you always have to cause trouble? Neil does not like being yelled at. Neil, taking the sign of aggression to heart, commences his mighty rat-tard screech. The shitstorm is upon us. The tards run.
We'll be doing 2 quests per video.
Heads while wearing batting helmets. Others are throwing the balls at the helpers at near Mach 2 speed due to their tard strength. Thank God there was only one bat, and it was possessed by Neil. Tard wranglers jump into action. Despite being seriously under-equipped, they put up a good fight. The tard apocalypse was going on directly in front of me, and I got front row seats. Chubby Tard from my original story, who was KO'd by the door, now has on a batting helmet and can obviously not be affected by head injury. He charges Miss Springer with his mighty Tardnosaurus stampede. The mighty Tardnosaurus hits Miss Springer with the combined tackling power of Ray Lewis and Lawrence Taylor. Down for the count. Neil has won his battle and ceases his rat-headed screech. The Tards are almost entirely wrangled by now, and the Wrangler begins to approach Neil to restrain him. Neil has no intention of putting up a fight. He is now content that he has had his revenge. As Neil is carried back to Tard HQ by the Wrangler, he waves back towards me at the baseball field. Thank you. See you tomorrow, Neil. Niggas ain't got shit on Neil's athleticism. We had one at middle school. Huge, semi-intelligent Tard. We named him Don as a mafia boss. We pretended to be his henchman. I was the Don's mouth, that is, I had to push him for a list of names each month. We had to beat the shit out of anyone on that list. Downey eventually gets into the park, starts coming to school with a red rose in his pocket, and starts picking up a Sicilian accent.
This will be the second quest we have done on this video.
He gets visibly angry and starts calling us.
Although I will admit we did more on the first video than we did this one.
The teacher steps into the class in that moment. Don takes the chair and starts whacking the teacher with the chair. I almost pass out of laughter. Janitors come and Don gets suspended. Teacher finds Liz. Brent gets framed and suspended as well. Don returns to school 1 week later. Kisses hand saying, "Welcome back, Don." Don is back. Apparently he had a few good sessions with the school therapist at Downey's. The therapist had brainwashed him into thinking that hacking people with share was not okay. Don, we need a new list. No! But Don, no! Eventually we managed to convince him that the therapist told him so because he was actually afraid of him. Better get the message through to his head. All Z AMVs, you know, the ones with the Linkin Park songs.
What happened? He gave you such a whooping.
Jacked up and pumped because of my AMVs. Classmate that got suspended threatens to snitch. Hey Don, one of your men.
Jackie!
Don says.
I found G-Spell. Very good one. Please put Jade on phone. It's for you.
No.
Hello?
We get out of
No quick fighting so. No quick fighting so. No quick fighting so.
Soon she gets up. Oh shit, not JP. Dawn starts screeching like a T-Rex.
Cannot break free. Blasted cheese spell.
He gets the idea that the snitch is bullying Dawn.
Shendu, back so soon. What? No talismans.
He still doesn't know it was my fault all along.
Rabia.
Other kids are now legitimately scared of the Dawn. Now kids from other classes want to be among them. We even had some kind of made man ritual where the Dawn had to decide if the new member is worthy. Me and Dawn end up sharing the same desk for the rest of the year. Towards the end of the second semester,
Much pleasure to help you.
That is kind of you. May Yakar be blessed. I can always use help. These soldiers are brutes. Almost every villager has cuts, bruises, broken bones. To help them, I put together a makeshift perron in the old ruined temple. Friends bring me medicine from Yamu, but now the soldiers stop everyone entering the village and steal their goods. So, we try to bring medicine on a boat instead.
And the soldiers stopped that also.
They sank the last shipment. The medicine jars are scattered across the bottom of the lake.
I will get them for you.
Thank you, Bayak. Bring it to the old temple. I must go there now.
Mexico. Uncle wasn't kidding about that
Medicine
four
could be
corners of
anywhere
the
in this
globe
lake.
thing.
Senu can help me.
You're my hero.
wrestler?
With all the wisdom of my experience.
You are the greatest.
No.
No,
Jackie's greatest.
Jackie's the greatest.
No.
Jackie.
You know.
Jackie. And boom. Jackie. 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 And boom.
Most important is training all kinds of exercise like swimming, boxing, badminton, and jogging. It's good for shape. Please, you must.
Your spirit walks in her body. From sheep's clothing. Read her G spell to banish the wolf.
Almost there, Jake. I know it may seem silly by now, but I have lost awareness. Okay, good luck.
Fabian's waiting for this chance. My need is great.
What do you say? Stop off for an ice cream cone?
Get away from her!
Whoa there, Jake.
She's not really Jade. Apparently they made her a sheep. Oh no, I mean, I'm proving. What's his name?
Wedgie.
You can't do it, can you? You're evil. You're evil.
Becky, you look like you could use a mercy.
Come here, you.
Behold what becomes of those who disobey Meduna. Priest to the Pharaoh.
What has happened? Where are the patients in the temple ruins?
The soldiers threw us out. Even though I paid the Noma Tolani to use the temple, every 3 weeks soldiers come to take our medicine and foodstuffs. Always the same soldiers. They call it a treatment.
Oh,
Tax
it's for you.
royal arm.
So, you quick find out. Quick find out. You quick find out.
Be careful.
Free. Blasted cheese spell.
It's hardly worth raiding this place. Be careful now.
We're gonna try to do this stealthily as we can.
Who do you admire?
So many people admire Steven Spielberg, John Lucas, the people who can use the computer, especially not for traditional like me or hurt myself, jumping off a real car.
I've been piecing pea soup.
Today's fish sticks. My mom said we need to place them. And you just God's face. Don't be afraid. Never break grace again. Hey, Maynard. Let's go then.
Yep. 8.
Put the lunch money down.
A Maynard.
Hey, there's enough here for fish sticks and pie. That's gotta stay.
And
My mom always told me not to hit girls, but in your case, I'll make an exception.
Stand and fight, children. Wait a minute. Where?
Fair warning, Maynard. I'm trained in ancient art of buffalo. Give it to you. Go on. What you gonna do? For him?
straight to you.
What is going on here? We just need months and days. Miss Hartman, you can explain. Perhaps it's time I had a chat with your guardian, young lady. Uncle Becky, not reachable. She's on a business trip.
Hey, wait.
Enter Dragon Face Jackie Chan.
I've been piecing pea soup. I see you. Listen to the trap. Behind bar. Die, idiot.
I ran off on it.
Wait a minute.
Check it out.
Die.
And that's when Valmont men escaped with their talisman.
Didn't follow him. Didn't let us about on himself.
I was a little preoccupied. Captain Black, Dark Hand has the dragon talisman. If they discover the magic it possesses,
So in this video we have done gearing up and
Did you succeed?
healer.
The temple is yours now. Those soldiers won't bother you again.
All my patience, thank you.
I almost forgot to give you your medicines from the sunken box.
In all due excitement, I forgot about them myself.
The oasis of Siwa is lucky to have you.
Promise me you will not become consumed with vengeance, Bayek.
Think of nothing less. By the grace of Amun, one day I will be free of it.
Simba Al. What? I'm scared.
In the next video, we will be helping the blacksmith and doing hideaway. Those will be next two quests we'll be doing.